There's been growing chatter in the camera world about what Nikon is planning next, and it seems all eyes are on one intriguing possibility: the Nikon ZFR. Building on the success of the Nikon ZF, the ZFR is expected to continue Nikon's strategy of blending vintage aesthetics with modern mirrorless technology. The ZF struck a nostalgic chord with its retro-inspired design, paying homage to Nikon's film-era heritage while delivering mirrorless performance. However, the ZFR isn't shaping up to be just another tribute model. Rumors suggest it could be a bold leap forward, especially for high-resolution photography. To understand the significance of the Nikon ZFR, we need to look at where it's coming from. The ZF was well received for its classic styling and capable full-frame mirrorless performance, but it wasn't perfect. One of the common complaints was the ergonomics. While the slim design looked beautiful, it made for an uncomfortable grip during extended use. Many photographers ended up purchasing third-party accessories to improve handling. Additionally, the ZF's shooting speed maxed out at 10 frames per second, which didn't appeal to action or sports photographers. The upcoming Nikon ZFR could be the remedy to those shortcomings. If Nikon enhances the grip and ergonomics while maintaining the camera's sleek retro design, it could result in a much more versatile body. And if they can improve the burst speed or even maintain 10 FPS while offering better handling, the ZFR would appeal to a wider audience. One of the most exciting rumors about the Nikon ZFR is the inclusion of a 60-megapixel sensor. This would put it squarely in competition with some of the industry's most powerful mirrorless cameras, including the Sony A7RV and Canon EOS R5. A high-resolution sensor of this caliber could be a major selling point, especially for photographers who specialize in landscapes, portraits, and fine art photography. Of course, high-resolution sensors are nothing new. Sony has had 60MP sensors in the A7R4 and A7RV, and Sigma has used them in the FPL. What could set Nikon apart is how they implement this sensor. There's speculation about improved dynamic range and color depth, with some even suggesting 16-bit raw image recording. While that level of color fidelity is typically found in medium-format systems like the Fujifilm GFX100 and Hasselblad X2D100C, even a solid 14-bit RAW performance would keep Nikon in the game. Realistically, a 16-bit pipeline may be too ambitious for a full-frame retro-style camera, especially at a price point aimed at enthusiasts. But it's certainly possible that Nikon could offer enhanced color processing and tonal range, giving the ZFR a real edge in post-production flexibility. As for shooting speed, expectations are tempered. The ZFR likely won't be aimed at sports or wildlife photographers. That's what the Nikon Z8 and Z9 are for. Still, a respectable 10 FPS or even slightly faster would be more than adequate for its intended audience. The ZFR is expected to cater primarily to photographers who value image quality and camera design over pure speed. The video side is also generating buzz, with Nikon already offering 8K capabilities in the Z8 and Z9. Many wonder if the ZFR will follow suit. There are pros and cons to this. On the one hand, 8K opens the door for creative cropping, high-end productions, and future-proofed footage. On the other hand, it requires serious processing power and heat management, challenges in a body expected to be compact and stylish. Still, offering 8K video would add major versatility to the Nikon ZFR, especially for hybrid creators who shoot both photos and video. If Nikon can keep thermal performance under control and avoid overheating, 8K would be a welcome feature. More likely, though, is robust 4K performance at high frame rates, which is more than sufficient for most creators. On the design front, Nikon is expected to stick with the retro formula that made the ZF such a fan favorite. That means classic styling, analog dials for key controls like ISO and shutter speed, and a tactile shooting experience. It's a design that resonates with enthusiasts and professionals alike, especially those who appreciate the charm of traditional film cameras. Still, Nikon is likely to tweak the design to address feedback from the ZF. A deeper hand grip, slightly thicker body, or improved button placement could go a long way toward making the ZFR more comfortable for long-term use. In a market saturated with boxy mirrorless designs, Nikon's vintage approach stands out, and the ZFR could continue to push the unique design language. Autofocus is another area where Nikon will need to step up. While the Z9 and Z8 made major strides in autofocus, earlier models like the ZF were sometimes outpaced by Sony and Canon, particularly when it came to real-time AI-driven tracking. If the ZFR is to compete with the A7RV and EOS R5, it will need snappy, intelligent autofocus that keeps up with subjects across various scenarios. This is especially important for users who want to shoot portraits, events, or even street photography. The Nikon ZFR appears to be filling a very specific niche in Nikon's current lineup. It won't replace the action-ready Z8 or Z9, and it's not expected to be a budget entry-level model either. Instead, it seems to target advanced enthusiasts and professionals who care deeply about resolution, image quality, and the overall shooting experience. For those who value a camera that delivers stunning detail in a stylish and intuitive package, the ZFR could hit all the right notes. However, a few challenges could hold it back. First is ergonomics. If Nikon doesn't address the ZF's handling shortcomings, it could limit the appeal of the ZFR. Second is pricing. A 60MP full-frame retro camera is unlikely to come cheap, and depending on how it's positioned, it might price out some users who are more focused on practicality than design. If it lands in the $3,000 plus range, it will be competing with some serious heavyweights in the mirrorless world. Finally, there's the question of when we'll actually see the Nikon ZFR. Current rumors suggest a possible release window in late 2026 or early 2027. That seems far off, but Nikon is known for taking its time to develop cameras in this category. It's likely still in the refinement phase, with engineers fine-tuning hardware and firmware to ensure a polished product at launch. That wait may be frustrating for fans, but it also suggests Nikon is serious about getting this one right. So where does all this leave us? The Nikon ZFR is shaping up to be an exciting addition to the mirrorless landscape. With a rumored 60-megapixel sensor, updated retro design, and potential video upgrades, it could carve out a strong position among high-resolution cameras. It won't be for everyone. Those seeking the fastest frame rates or the lowest prices may look elsewhere. But for photographers who care about the joy of image making, the quality of each frame, and the tactile feel of a beautifully built camera, the ZFR could become an instant classic. Whether it lives up to the hype remains to be seen, but if Nikon delivers on even half the rumors, the ZFR could be one of the most compelling mirrorless cameras of its generation. Keep an eye on this one. The retro revolution isn't over yet.